everyone, I am Shweta and welcome to my channel Analytics by Shweta. In today's video, we will be looking at the next functions in Power BI. We would be looking at next year, next quarter, next month and next day. So let's head over to Power BI and look at how these functions work. Let us first have a look at our data model. We have 4-dimension tables connected to our fact table, the hires data, in a one-to-many relationship. Now the calendar column has a date column and the hires data has a DOJ column. Now the DOJ column is the date of joining column, which is basically the hiring date of the employee. Now both these dates column are connected in a one-to-many relationship. We will first start by looking at the function next year. We have a pre-created measure called as total hires. The total hires counts the hires in our data set. Now, as each and every employee has a unique employee code, this measure will give us a distinct count of the employees. Let us create a new measure. We would be naming it as next year. We would use calculate. We would use the total hires measure which we have created earlier. We would be using the next year function, and here we would be giving calendar date as the parameter, and we close this function. Let us approve it. We would be creating a matrix visual. On the rows, we would be adding the year, and in the values, we would be adding the total hires. Let us also add the newly created measure next hire over here. I would be duplicating this visual so that I can better explain to you what are these values which are being returned. Now, in this visual, let us also add the month name. We would expand this visual. Now, if you look at this visual over here, we would see in 2020 it is returning as 1986, which is the value of the next year. And in 2021 it is returning as 3761, which is again the value of the next year. In this visual, which also has the month, if you would see, for each and every month, it is continuing to return us the value of the next year. Like from 2020 Jan to December, each and every month shows us 1986. This 1986 is the count for 2021. If you see here, 2021 has 1986. So each and every month shows us the value 1986. And this is how next year functions in Power BI. If we add day into the matrix further, so let us do that. I have added day here and let us expand it. If you see here, for each and every day, it continues to show us 1986 for 2020 January, and for the individual days of 2020, it is still returning us the value for the next year. So next year function is exactly as the name suggests. Give me the value for the next year. Irrespective of whatever is shown in the visual context, it will continue to show us the value for the next year. We would be next looking at the value for next quarter. So we would see how the function next quarter functions in Power BI. Let us create a new measure. We would be naming it as next quarter. We would use calculate total hires. We would use next quarter, and here we would be using the calendar date, and we approve this measure. Let us add a matrix visual onto our report. Let us add the year on the rows. Let us add total hires in the values and the next quarter measure which we have created. Let us duplicate this visual, and in this visual let us also add the quarter number over here, and we would expand the visual. So if you look at this visual, quarter 1 of 2020 returns us 957, which is the value for the next quarter. So if you see here, the next quarter's value is 957. So quarter 1 2020 returns us 957. And similarly for each. If you look at this visual, in 2020, it is returning us 252. What is this 252? If we look at this value here, the next year, 2021, the first quarter has the value 252. That's the reason we get 252 against 2020, as the next quarter, which is in 2021, has the value 252. So it is returning us 252. In this visual, if we further add the month to the mix, it will continue to behave in the same way. If we expand the quarter, you would see that each and every month of this quarter continues to return us the value of the next month. If we further add days to the mix, it will continue to behave in a similar way. Let's do that. I have further added days to the mix and I have expanded it. If you see, each and every value returns to us the value for the next quarter, which is 957. So I hope you understood how next quarter works in Power BI. We would be further looking at next month in the further scenario. Let us create a new measure. Let us name it as next month. We would be using the calculate total hires and using next month, and again use the calendar date. Let us approve this measure. We would be creating a matrix visual. Again, on the rows let us add year, and in the values let us add total hires and the next month measure which we have created. Let us duplicate this visual, and in this visual below the year let us also add the month. We would expand this visual. If you see here, 2020 returns to us the value 32. What is this 32? If you look at this particular visual over here, if you see in 2020 Jan, we had the value 32. That is, the first month of the next year had the value 32. So that is why 2020 is returning us 32, as January 2021 has the value 32. So it's returning us the next month. If you look at this visual, each and every month returns to us the value for the next month. January returns us 284, which is the value of the next month, February. February returns to us 154, which is the value of the next month, March. And this continues for each and every month. If we further add days to the mix, it will continue to behave in the same way. If you see here, the same value is repeated across, as this value is the value for the next month. I hope you understood how next month works in Power BI. We would be further looking at next day example. Let us create a new measure. Let us name it as next day. We would be using the calculate total hires, the next day, and the calendar date. And we approve this measure. Let us create a matrix visual. On the rows, let us add the year. We would first add the total hires measure, and then we would be hiring the next day hires. Let us duplicate this visual. In this visual, let us add the month, and below the month, let us also add the day. Let us expand this visual. If you look at this value, let us expand this visual. If you look at this value, each and every day for January 1st, it is returning a 6, which is the value of the next month. Similarly, January 2nd is returning as 10, and it continues for each and every record where it is returning as the value of the next day. Now, what is this 4 which is shown against 2020? If you look at this data set, if you go to the next year, which is 2021, let us expand up and we would go to 2021. And if you look at January of 1st, 2021 has the value 4. So that is why 2020 is returning as 4. As the next day, which is in the next year, has the value 4. So we went to December 31st, and then in January 1st, we have the value 4. So it is returning as 4. The blanks over here are because for the next year, on 1st of January, we do not have any data set. Let us have a look at it. Let us close this and let us go to 2022 and January. If you see in the first, we do not have any value. That is why this data is blank. 2022 is blank as we do not have a next year after that. So these values are blank because we do not have any value for the 1st of January in the next year of the data set. So that's the reason we do not get any value here. But in 2020, we get the value 4 because 2021, 1st of January had the value 4. I hope you understood this example of next day. So in today's video, we have seen 4 functions: next year, next quarter, next month, and next day. Each of these returns us the next value. It can be a year, quarter, month, or day. Whatever we add to the data set, the context will always depend on what function we have used. If we have used next month, then even if we add days to the context, it will continue to show us the value for the next month. And similarly for next quarter or for next year. And this is how these functions work in Power BI. I hope you understood these examples. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell for more updates. Thank you for your time and have a nice day.